Hello, fellow Mythrunians. Oak has been wild in the chat already. Without further ado, let me thank the patrons. Oh, by the way, you can download the Monday's release. Yes, there was a release on Monday, and you can download that in the link at the lower part of the screen there, and it'll be in the upper part of the screen during the video, and that's the super secret password. Let me thank the patrons. By the way, if you are a patron or are not a patron and can think of potentially additional uh, patron benefits you would like to see, I'm not above bribery and so on to think of different things to encourage more membership. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get started. So, yep, my nose is already itching, so that's good. There's not really much to show over last time. I've been doing design work. And yes, I have a frog in my throat, which made vocal lessons really fun tonight. The flying whale would be interesting with the mechanics you just made. Flying whale. Which mechanics? The different skinning or the chopping? Which mechanics are you referring to? Yeah, I'm like still on the fence about what to work on tonight, but I think we're going to make some birds. I do have an idea for the whale, but it's going to be a procedural. I think use procedural animation and skins and just being able, just being a passive mob. Yeah, I do really want to have the whales because it makes me solve a bunch of problems that I'm going to have to solve for dragons and other large creatures. Yep. Yep, exactly right. So one of the things about the butterflies is that they were able to just kind of flop around, and so I was able to cheat with the flying. They don't actually fly; they jump and then have no gravity, and so whatever orientation they happen to be in, they continue kind of flying in that direction, and they can fly around in 2D. Yeah, they fly around in 2D, but if they had like some upward momentum, then they fly up while they're doing it. And then when they stop flying, they just fall. But I give them water physics, so they fall slowly. And because they're flapping their wings at the time, it kind of looks like they're landing. But I won't be able to get away with that for birds, so I'll have to implement the real AI targeting, which if we get enough done tonight, maybe that'll be what we do next time. Because what I'm working on... oh, good. Well, that's funny because I've got a frog in my throat. And so it's like right where my normal speaking voice is, and there's a couple notes in there that, like, the longer I was singing at vocal lessons, the wider it got. But I'm glad the audio is good tonight. Anyway, I've been working on inventory. I'm completely overhauling the inventory system. What I want to get to for the next release is I want to be able to open chests and look in their inventory and transfer stuff into and out of, and I want you to be able to pick up stuff off the ground and put stuff back on the ground in a standard way, not in a specifically scripted way like we have for some of the stuff. Like right now you can pick up, an NPC's axe, but you can't put it down again. And maybe that'll be true for all quest items, I don't know. But you can't put it down again, and you can only give it to them, and the only reason you can pick that item up is because I specifically scripted it so you can, that kind of thing. Because that leads us into the next part, which is once you can, well, it may actually be part of this release that I have to do this, which is to work on interaction with the world, which is really what I was sort of designing and then backed into having to refactor the inventory because there's a bunch of problems with it. But for one thing, it's really slow. Every time you open the inventory, it goes back to the server and stalls the UI thread and the network connection to pull back all of that information when it could really just cache your whole inventory the whole time. So there's some asynchronous stuff that's happening. So that's what I was doing this week. So not a whole lot to show. So we'll go ahead and get started. And I just remembered when I pull up Blender, I am going to have to... I can probably leave this here. When I pull up Blender, so you're going to see me start from scratch because I've not really even done any research other than determining that if I'm going to do a bird. So I had like a couple options. The whale was always an option, by the way. I just there's a procedural nature of that meant I couldn't just get it into the game right away. So then I was like, well, what creatures could I get into the game right away? I could make an ant, because ants will be one of the cleaning creatures. So if you leave organic material laying around, or you kill a bunch of goats or something out in the field and leave them there to rot, the ants will be the thing that comes and cleans that up. Sort of a resource saver for the game by incorporating some, actual natural type of cleanup. The other thing was I thought about doing skeletons. I really want to do skeletons, but skeletons also tie into what I eventually want to do with layers for animals and humans and stuff for skinning, and I have a whole bunch of ideas on that to extend the clothing system both outwards and inwards, so that we might actually be able to skin animals and stuff as a mini game. So anyway, then yeah. So the problem is, so for the ants, so here's what it came down to. So for the skeletons, it becomes a complicated sort of dependency issue. Like I have to make sure they match. There's a lot of other dependencies. I have to make sure the skeleton will match the skins that I have, and anyway, it just gets complicated. So that was kind of out of the question. The problem with things like the ants, or the other thing is the rhino bears, which are going to be a rideable but hostile creature. They all have like AI requirements that I'm not willing to implement as part of this release, because to make an ant do what it needs to do as its job, it's got to be more than just random wander. It's got a purpose. It needs to be its thing, and that's the same with all of the hostile mobs. There will be a release I pretty much devote only to hostile mobs, and I will probably reuse the dog with a new skin as the first hostile mob, so that I can implement the AI necessary to have like attacks and defend and pack behavior and stuff like that. And then as we develop, then I can develop all kinds of hostile creatures and sort of refactor that AI to work with different kinds of creatures. Anyway, so there tends to be a whole chain of dependencies, and I wanted to try to every release do a new creature. And so birds were easy because they let me fix the AI for the butterflies and add a little bit of extra ambience to the world, and they're relatively low poly and certainly low bone, because I'll make a custom skeleton rather than using a standard one. So anyway, let's see what we can get done in 2 hours, or an hour and 50 minutes. And I'll have to remember when I bring Blender up to make it not full screen so I can still see the chat. Because normally with Blender you want it to be all the things. But this means I'm also not hiding anything from, I believe. Yeah, so you guys can still see me up in the corner. Once again, in the upper left is the link to download the game. There was a new release on Monday that has many colors of butterfly and some random Gafen colors, along with a few other bug fixes and things, and at least one bug I added. So that was good. It's always good to add a bug. So let's get started. So normally what I would do is I would find reference material to put in the background that I can use to, shape things the way I want. And I'm going to leave the camera in for now just because it helps me orient without having to think, oh yeah, green is Y and red is X. And so I started looking at cardinals are my favorite bird, and they're a fun one because to implement a cardinal you need 2 different skins. The other aspect of the cardinals that I like is they have this little top knot, and I have this idea for making one bird mesh that will support birds that have that top knot and don't have that top knot just by reskinning. So So cardinals were a good choice because they really are my favorite bird, which is kind of cool because I live in Virginia and that's the Virginia state bird as well. And so anyway, so I wanted to pull up some reference image of like side views, and I really want I like this picture of the wings here. So normally what I would do then is start saving images. Oh yeah, we got. See, you guys are. I did look up antlines one time. So these are old reference pictures I looked at for different desert creatures. But I think we'll put these in with right with the Blender stuff. GitHub, Mythruna, model set. I've started to like build a pattern for how I do this stuff. So let's make birds. And then reference. So we'll save this one. I'll call it bird in flight. Okay, so we've got a bird in flight. So I'll need like a side view and a front view. Probably even of one in flight, actually. Just for some reference. I really like this picture. This is a cool picture. So that's with his wings down. So we'll save that image as cardinal side wings down, and this one, we'll call this one cardinal side wings up. They don't have to be good quality, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, some of these are probably not saving correctly. What did this one save it at? Oh, it's a JPEG. JPEG. What are all of this files? So the other one was a WebP. Yeah, so cardinal side wings, we didn't actually get that one. That one's, as my recollection is, that one's not going to load into Blender. And so that one was this one. And so then there's another trick you can use. So again, I don't need good quality. I just need something as a reference. So then we save that as C:development. I can't actually see the chat at the moment if anybody's saying anything. Through a model set. Source, main, Blender, animals, birds, reference. Cardinal, side wings up, PNG. Alright. Oh, that's wings down. I mean, I can see it here, but I won't be able to see in Blender, see. Okay, so we got the wings up one okay, we got that one okay, and I'm going to, this one's almost right. I want just a straight front view and a straight side view of them sitting with their wing. Yeah, so I mean, I feel weirder about referencing other people's art than I do photos for some reason. Okay. I mean, what makes a photo is the composition and the coloring and so on and so forth, and I'm not paying attention to any of that. Whereas when you pull up a somebody's art, you're getting their style, and that style may then end up reflecting into I Actually, probably could have just done this. That style ends up reflecting. Nope, it's another WebP. I was smart. May end up reflecting into my results, and I don't want to copy somebody else's work. But it's with photo, I'm not paying attention to composition or any of that stuff. I just want the anatomy of the bird. I feel a little. It's still technically a gray area, I think, but cardinal side. Whoops. Okay, let's find a cardinal front. Trust me when I say that the more reference material you find, the better. Oh, wait, we got one right here. Though he's hunkered down, I would rather just have a straight forward view. See if there were any close ones. Because I'll take... Am I looking at... Oh, I don't want to see a flying one, just a cardinal. That's why. Haha! We will find way more what I'm looking for now. Anyway, the more reference material you find, the better. Normally I make my own once I pull up a bunch of these kind of things and then I'll draw some if I was really taking the time. Especially if it's going to be an imaginary animal. Of course I would draw reference images. I'm not seeing a straight on cardinal. This may be as close as we get. That's not bad. We're kind of at a weird angle, but that's not bad. So, is it another WebP? Nope. Cardinal sort of front. Hedge my bet a little bit in case I find a better one at some future time. So then, oh, that's pretty. It's funny, the males, the red ones, they're the prettiest from a color perspective, but I really like the female coloring. I think it's really nice, the brown. All right, so then we will add an image reference. And so from here, we go C, development, GitHub, Mythruna, model set, source, main, Blender, animals, birds, reference. And so this is that sort of front. I think that I got the angle. No, probably wanted to be more like this. And so I just added it, so it's not a big deal if I create another. You just do it again. You can rotate it to get it where you want, but it probably was down here. Anyway, that's close enough. And then what I want to do is Shift C, just move it back a ways. So now it's over there if I want to see it. Okay. And then we had a side view. Add images, reference, cardinal side. And we're going to scale that X, nope, Y, -1. There we go. And then from the top, we'll move that back here. So that'll be good. But really we need the in-flight ones. So I think from the top, image reference bird in flight. Oh, it should have been cardinal in flight. Oh well. Okay. So then we're going to rotate 90. Perfect. And then move it down. Okay, so we're good there. And so at some point I'll rescale these based on sort of what the size of the bird ends up. So I'll pick one, probably that bird in flight. So the other thing we want to do is add the other reference image. Cardinal side wings up. And I'm just going to move that over here for now. That's another one we need to scale. Y -1. And it's going to need to be rotated because we want it to be more like this. And I'll ignore the head for a second. And then we had the image reference wings down. That was already in the right direction. And for now, I will move that back here. And then both of these will move GX back like this. Okay. All right, so we got reference images, all kinds of reference images. And for this, I think I probably want to, what does the box start out as? 2 meters. You know, so maybe that's okay. I'm going to end up scaling no matter what. Oh, the other thing is can I make a new collection here? Reference images. Trust me on this one too. Now, when I want to, I can turn them all off and on. Bird base. And now I can delete the light in the camera. I'll leave them in case I want to render. But I will make a new collection, scene stuff, or camera light. Okay. Doink. And I can just close these down. All right. So let's get busy. No, I want that. I actually want that too. And toggle X-ray mode, and we'll edit. All right. Maybe I do want this. Yeah. Okay. There's a trick you can do. Turn off lock object modes. I only discovered this a few months ago, but if you do this, then even if you are in edit mode, you can click outside. Well, basically it contextually decides what you should be doing. Like here, if I'm in edit mode, what is it? Yeah, okay, well it's not doing what like if you're in pose mode, you can click on something else that takes you out of pose mode. It's very useful. I think I understand how it would be confusing for some people, but I find it useful. So now in object mode, let's rotate this guy a little bit to be more straight. And we will start making our burb. And there we go. Or what am I selected? I do have it selected. Okay. I wonder 100% above. Yes. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. So, first we'll turn on. Let's see. I can't remember my. There it goes. Okay, Control R. And like, I know there's like an auto symmetry mode, but I find the classics more predictable. So we will make a mirror modifier. And we'll go back to object mode. We will center ourselves over that guy. Alright. So we'll scale X. Ooh, no, we don't want to scale anyway. And we want to say clipping. So even if I did scale X, I wouldn't be... I guess scaling X would work. So we get roughly the size of the bird. And G, Y. So then alright, we have a rough bird shape from the top. It's going to look ridiculous from the side, right? So, but now we could, for example, bring in, let me save this. It's always a good idea to save often. Blender's a lot more stable than it used to be, but there's no reason to tempt fate, especially on a live stream. So source, main, Blender, animals, birds, cardinal, or let's just call it bird base. Bird base. Alright. Okay, so we're going to bring this guy over. Oops. Bring him over. And what I want to do is kind of line him up scale-wise. So that, you know what? Let's bring him right over here. Whoops. Let's bring this up like this. So now we can make it match. It almost does. I did a pretty good job. I did a pretty good job. Scale. Yeah, that's about right. Maybe a little bit more. So see, it's a weird. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so now we can G accent it back just behind, and we can come over to the side and start messing with this from here. Doink, doink, doink. I'm like, even when I did art, like, um, physical art, I always approached it maybe too technically. Um, I think that's where I started to get frustrated when I took art classes in college, and why I didn't often understand what my high school teachers were trying to tell me. I really wish I had a version without the wing, but I can kind of imagine where the so we have to leave these where they are for the most part, because we lined them up already. Anyway, I approach things um, sort of more methodically than maybe is artistic. But I think of it kind of like from the programmer perspective. Okay, so let's make this the neck. And I'm trying to make this as, yeah, these actually I can mess with. So let's bring this up. Anyway, I think of it from a repeatability standpoint. It's like kind of like the engineering mindset. I've got to think of how I would do this again if I had to do it again. And so even when I was drawing, we're going to need another. So we're going to need some loops in the middle, loop cuts. So I'm going to make this like more like that. Anyway, even when I'm drawing reference materials, I'm thinking about how can I recreate this in 3D? Where are my spheres and things like that? Which I guess maybe is the way you're supposed to do it. I don't know. Okay, so we're starting to get like a bird shape, right? This is wrong. But part of that is because we need more loop cuts. Need at least 2. And what I will do anyway, and don't pretend I know what I'm doing either. I just do it anyway. And there's a certain aspect of everything in life that you shouldn't worry too much about doing it the right way necessarily. Okay. That's starting to look like a bird's body. And we can potentially fix these others now too. I think this probably wants to come down here. At some point I'm going to want to better than I do, and I've made some decent models. Scaling always jacks my brain. Nice, yeah. I do find 3D printing a lot of fun though. And I used to use Tinkercad, but I've only recently decided that maybe Blender's the way to go. Since I made that bench model as a reference image, I started thinking, yeah, maybe it's actually okay. I'm trying to keep this really low poly, and maybe like it. What does it look like without the? Okay, let's shade smooth. Yeah, okay, that's what I want to see. That's looking okay. And I'm thinking instead of making more loop cuts, I just want to extrude this into the head. I do think this needs to come down. Yeah, because there's a fat belly under there. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Hey, save. That's like your when you're playing a video game and you get to a checkpoint, that's literally the save, right? So when you get to the point where you're like, hey, that's looking all right, let's checkpoint. It does take some getting used to, and I find I get used to it, and then I go use my tools, and I want to WASD everything. Or WASD is what works in my tools to move around, and whenever I go here, I start to WASD to move around, and of course that does weird things in Blender. And then when I go back to my own tools for blockhead and the in-game in Mythruna stuff, I want a middle mouse scroll again, and I need to basically turn that on so that the press middle mouse does this in my editors, because it's just so common at this point to want to do that. Okay, I think I've used, so my earliest modeling experiences are on like the IBM PC. AutoCAD back then, which was just monochrome monitor, green lines, and then we had Amiga, and there was a 3D modeler on there that I easily killed with even basic models. And I did 3D Studio Max for a long time. So Blender took some getting used to, but the modern Blender I find actually quite nice. Once you get over the learning curve, like Photoshop is an obtuse tool. So weirdly laid out and so on. But if you get used to it, it's like, oh no, that's the way an image tool is supposed to be laid out. No, it's not. There were way easier tools to use that had layers and things. You just get, I took a crash course, gave my own crash course over a weekend once to learn to do some website design for NASA, which I think is a story I've told before. We had like a real quick turnaround, so I bought a book and learned how to use Photoshop over the weekend. Anyway, yeah, I like it, but I'm trying to think where I want the wings to come out. Do I want them to come out of here or here? Because it definitely matters for where I want the head to pop out. Because if I'm going to make another loop cut here for wings to come out there, I'm wondering if I'm just trying to leave. So again, you're never going to see the bird any closer than this. So I'm trying to be really judicious with my polygon counts. And really it's the bones that matter. The polygons don't matter so much. So maybe we'll just extrude the head and see how that works. E to extrude. Okay. That's doing weird things. I'll show you what I mean by letting it go ahead and keep this. Because I forgot that the neck comes down. And maybe that's okay. I can just bring it back a little bit. Oh, these things can come forward too. Yeah, that can come back, that can come forward. I haven't checked the top either. Yeah, so let's get rid of that. So the top is still pretty good. I didn't screw that up. I did a little bit. Like we're a little far. That's okay. Just got to see where those shoulders are going to come out. Right over here. I really like this picture because you can see kind of the arms and the hand of the bird, right? Like wings are just arms. Which is why it's going to be weird when the avians are implemented, because essentially avians will have 4 arms, right? Because they're going to have actual arms like a person, and then also their wings on their back, which are going to be, in a sense, just a second set of dumber arms. Okay, so let's go for it. Extrude. And we want to scale X. And maybe that's fine. I don't want to get too we'll rotate a little bit and move it. And then I think one more at least. Oh, we're going to need more than that. Okay, so we'll rotate this guy back. Doing weird things to my topology, but... And then... maybe that's good enough. Oh. Yeah, let's scale X again. Huh. Okay, we're gonna extrude one more time. I'm gonna scale this one just way down in general. Alright. We're starting to get a bird shape. See, like, oh. See, it's kind of a bird shape. Okay, so we've got a lot of cleanup work to do around here. Oh, we're in face mode. We don't want to be in face mode. Okay. I think... yeah, I'm doing weird things because all these things need to come in. When you're modeling, look at it from all sides all the time, because you'll do some weird things. These guys need to come in. This guy needs to come in. Actually, these, I would say, all need to go forward. Give a little more shape. And you know what? I'm going to have to make another loop cut. Anyway. And now, so we have like this idea that there's these here, and they need to come forward. Yeah. Still this weird kind of divot. I can't decide if it's desirable or not. So check the solid shape again, make sure there's no weird creases. Yeah. Okay, so from the side, let's make the beak. He has a pointy beak. So we should be able to extrude out to this way, and then just say scale 0, boink, and grab this. Oh, gotta go back to grab that and move it there. Oh, scale X, boink. Okay, so when you do that, it's quite clear that this is in the wrong place, and so is this. But one of these is okay. This one's got to come down like here. Yeah, probably there. And then out like that. And this one come in a little bit. And if I want to do my top knot trick, I'm going to need another loop cut right there. Because what we'll do is we'll make the real top of the head of the bird inside. So let's move you out like that, and you up like this, and you over like this, and you over like this. Yeah, I tend to make my stuff too square. Like all of these, like this is way too square. By the way, GG, good one to know. If you do, I don't know if you know this, but if you do GG, it lets you, it moves the point along one of the other edges, and it's super useful because it'll even remap the UVs as it does it. I use that a lot. Okay, so let's move you back there, and you back there as well. Okay, so we've got a nice roundish burb with maybe more polygons than it needs. That's all right. Okay, and so this feels a little far forward now. Okay, that's actually not a bad face. And so what we'll end up with, I think, you know what I could do? I could just make the top of the head and then extrude a wall. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So then we want to grab all these guys and just imagine where the top of his head is, right? So you got to imagine he's a regular bird, not a cardinal. Right? And so then we've got a nice round bird. Let's see what he looks like in the... So he kind of looks like a bird. Maybe his hips are a little fat. And again, I think that this is a little problematic as well, because the wings are going to come out up here and we're going to want to cut this line right there. So yeah, so see, like, all this is ridiculous. GX. So you are the one sticking out. And now you are. That's okay, because we're going to extrude a wing out of here. And I can't decide if I want it to be thick or not. Again, I think I've made things too square. Okay. That's a birdie. So the idea is that I'm posing the bird in flight because, you know, that's as close to a T-pose as a bird gets, and then I will have to, yeah, we're going to need a loop cut right here to extrude both the tail and the wings. Yeah. Anyway, so then I'll get the bird in a I'll get the bird rigged, and then I'll pose it into, if I've done my job right, I should be able to pose it in these standy-uppy situations. Okay. So we're gonna, I think, just keep the I'm going to leave the top knot off, the tuft off for now. It's okay. This is a wide open space. We cut loops in a weird way. Alright, so next thing I want to do is extrude a wing. And then things will start to look very bird-like. Control S. Alright, so we grab these two things. I think we'll extend a wing out from those. From the top. Extrude. Yeah, we're going to want one that's right here. Scale Y. And then extrude. E to extrude. G to drag. Yeah. I think that's good. I mean, obviously, you know, the scaling's off, of course, but we're getting there. So we should be able to see, like if I hide the reference images, turn this on, it looks like a bird, right? It's starting to look like a bird. You know, looks more like an airplane, but that's okay. I have drawn up concepts for mobs. They used to be on the old forum, and sometimes you can still find them. I located some of them for someone recently. I actually cannot find some of my concept art anymore. You know, I had like a sketchbook I'd carry around with me for a long time. Actually, it might still be in that bag where I kept my pencils and stuff. Okay. All right, let's bring the over the years, my drawing ability has atrophied, and my modeling ability has improved. You know, my physical pen and pencil drawing, I have to get back into it. I did, like last year, I did a month where I drew a picture every day. At any rate, what was I going to say? But my ability to like do this kind of stuff has improved, and so I almost find it's easier just to do it in here. Oh, that's weird looking. When I do this over here, I'm looking at this over here, and how twisted it was looking. Yeah, that really does look like an airplane. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like sometimes my concepts end up being in here, and or in like Photopia or Photopea, whatever you want to call it, Photoshop, and I just like munge a bunch of things together. I have a Chromebook I can draw on, which I intend to use at some point, and I also have one year for my birthday. I do process work, and the planning can really get in the way. It's awesome to have a detailed plan and style guide, though. Yeah, Mythruna has so many design documents and things written about it, that as I go kind of thing, for the detailed designs. And I have, of course, an image in my head, but it changes all the time. I think of new things, that I want to add in. But yeah, I have like lots and lots of text files that I've written. And I keep a living document that in Google Docs on my phone that I just keep adding things to, and now it's so long to scroll down. It's kind of humorous. Okay, so I think what I want to do is make this the rest of the wing. Do I want to keep this two-sided the whole way? I think I do. Yeah, see, okay, so he's tipped his head sideways, but I do feel like we've shortchanged the width of the head at this point. Anyway, let's play with the wings first. Do I want to extrude it out one more time? Or just reshape this into what I want? Will this give me... It's already pretty polygon intense. But I could extrude out here, 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 and here, and here, and see what that looks like. Just a lot of polygons that we'll never see. And then these should be flat. Oh, we don't want it like that though. We want like individual faces to be. Alright, so let's do it from the top. Get things where they should be. So you want to be up here. And you're good, right? You're about where you need to be. I'm never gonna. From experience with the butterfly, I'm never gonna be like, man, these wings are too big. Because I wished when I was dealing with the butterfly that I had a little bit more space. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then what we want to do is for each of these faces. I wonder if I just collapse the... It's like I can do this, and what's the merge? Center. Yeah. So then we've made a wing. And if we do this, it looks rather wing-like. Alright, now we need tail feathers. I do think the body's too thin now that I see it. But that's why we'll do this. That's why we do this. But yeah, see, it looks like the body's a little too thin. Let's do this. Back to edit mode. So I ought to be able to... can I still select the loops and I think Control Plus? I think that actually gets me kind of what I want. I might go one more. Oh. No. Can I unselect that one? Ooh. Oops. That's not what I want either. How do you unselect a point? Control. Okay. Cool. Alright, so let's get this. Yeah, can I just unselect all of these too? I can! Okay, I don't need to, but it just was wondering if I could. Alright, so GX, let's make it a little fatter bird. Slightly fatter burb. So let's see what he looks like without all this stuff. Yeah, that's looking more bird-like. I think the back is the butt's probably too thick now. But actually, it's good I did that because I think where the butt needs to be thin is not up here, but down here. So just make these guys. Oops. Let's just take these. So I should be able to shift. Whoops. What did I do? Oh yeah, control. I did it right. Oops. Let's just move it in a little bit. And then, whoops. Also move these in a little bit. And then, I think, GG. Good game, good game. Alright, Alright, and so now we have a place to extrude the tail as well. And I think I just want to extrude it from... Oh, we're seeing him from the bottom so we can see his feet. Oh, that's awesome because I'm going to need to model those feet. Ha 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 ha. Alright. I was like disappointed that it wasn't from the top, but now I'm glad because there's the legs right there. I need to flip it over upside down. Nice. Okay. Let's make tails. Tail feathers. Alright, so extrude. Scale X down. Oops. Maybe scale X up a little bit. Because we're crooked. E to extrude out. And I think that will be good enough. Wait, am I upside down? I am. Okay. Alright, and so... okay, so we want to go back to vertex mode. And we can do this trick, Control plus. Go side mode. And scale Z down GZ, scale Z, GZ. All right. Scale Z. Top again. Oh, I see. All right. So let's do the trick from before. M at center. M at center. Now from above. Yeah, that's okay. In fact, we may want to make this a little bit wider, a little bit further back. Sorry, I'm not talking more. Sometimes I get wrapped up in what I'm doing. Yeah, so probably we want to move this up too. And we definitely want to move that up because we want this to be almost like both of these need to come down because you want it to be like a cup. That's true of this too. But make that come down, make this come up. That is a bird. See, watch. Boink. Does that look like a bird to you? It looks like a bird to me. That's a pretty good looking bird, in fact. Now we look. Alright, man, that could be a hawk. Just depends on how you paint the feathers, right? Nice. I like it. Yeah, man. Like sometimes I exceed my own expectations. This is one of those cases. So now it's mine to screw up, right? We need to make some feet. So let's go back to get our reference images up. And we'll do from bottom. To see where we want to extrude some feet. I think there's a face right here where I can or maybe this would be better. Yeah, that's where the feet come from. Right there. Okay. I can't see the feet in this picture because they're like straight back. But what we'll do, I think, okay, I like that, but I think it's going to cause problem. Oh, so we're going to make really thin legs and they're going to come straight back. But see, we can't see them in this picture, which means they're actually up higher than we think. Which means I've probably, I've done bad things. Like this needs to be way, way up here. And this needs to be more like that. Yeah. Okay. So now this face is our leg face. I think I'll extrude from the side for now. And we'll scale. And this is so this is not a real flight mode. I'm going to do kind of like a T-pose where I set the bird up kind of like not in flight but just splayed out so that it's easier to rig. I think that might be a better idea. And I don't want many bones here, but let's first of all, let's GZ up. Wait, okay. Escape. Control Z. Alright, let's do this. GZ up. Alright. Now we'll control Z. Reselect our bird. Yeah, like you can't even see it because it blends so well with that real bird. That's kind of cool. I wanted to think about the joints. So in the real bird pose when he's flying, this is going to be down. So we're going to want the shoulder. If you want to think about it, the shoulder, the upper, or so the hip, right? The upper leg, the lower leg, and a foot. So we want the upper leg scale, the lower leg scale, and the foot scale. It's just from the side. That's bonkers. Sorry. I just thought that was really funny looking. Yeah, so plus plus plus. Yeah. Sorry, bird. That was a really yeah, well, why not, right? Okay, so we want to rotate. Oh, we're rotating around center. Okay, that's fine. All right. Oops. Actually, this worked out well because I want these to come forward. This to come in. Gee, why? Because, I mean, it kind of looks like a bird's foot. This is where it becomes problematic to be modeling multiple poses at the same time. That's a really small foot. I can't tell whether the leg is in good proportion or not. Maybe I need to bring this guy closer. Because he's got the foot right there. Is he the right scale, though? A little bit. He's a little bit big. That's closer. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Okay. So, let's move you back. And, oops, wrong one. And you up just in front. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oops. This is much better. Okay, yeah. fact, wrong one. We can do better than this. Because this bird's landing, and so he's in the pose where he's got actual feet. There we go. Yeah, so his feet are back and forward. So this is like, that front part's really long. And the whole thing's a little beefier. Like, if you can imagine, this was tucked up under. It's got this whole claw thing going on. In fact, we will probably want to add a loop cut here. So that we have the ability to curve. I really want one there as well. Can I sneak one in here? No, it's going to go all the way up, isn't it? So what I needed to do was not that. I know what I need to do. So I need to take this back and do this. Right back there. And then I need to take this, go like that, and extrude. Yeah, see, now I have the ability to do additional loop cuts if I want to. Back to this mode. Like, I can tuck these guys in. Whoops. Tuck these guys in here. Pull the whole thing out. Put a loop cut in there. That kind of thing. So now we have a bird's foot that can actually, like, grab things if we wanted it to. In fact, I could split it out. Anyway, I'm potentially getting ahead of myself. That foot's a lot bigger than this foot. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing back here. They just have the back thumb thing. There's people who know how to do this that could be laughing at me right now, but that's fine. We need to worry less about what other people think. Okay. So the idea is that I'll paint toes on, and so it kind of reminds me of the Gafen feet, really. So let's spread things out a little bit, which will make things a little happier when we go to animate this stuff. Alright, so that's a flat bird's foot. Okay, let's rejigger the scale Z0. Alright, that is a bird's foot. It's a little skinny from the front. Holy moly. So what we'll do is we'll go plus, yeah, scale in the X. Yeah. So you can kind of look at the cross section and see if we've done enough. I think maybe a little more. We want it to be round. So when we look down that leg, it should be, yeah. Yeah, in fact, it's a little wider now. So probably we want to do this and this. Just go ahead and make it square. Alrighty, and probably, if I really am thinking of animating this, I'm probably going to want to put some more loop cuts in there, but that's okay. That's a bird. Not bad. Alright, so yeah, I think that probably these are too far back even. Plus, plus, plus. So let's move them forward. G, Y, up. See, starting to line up. And if we look at it, so if I'm tipping my head sideways, really the legs should be up here when we're thinking about the bird oriented that way. So let's do it again. Plus, plus, plus. GY. Let's get it way up there. Okay, so now's the point where I need to start checking against my reference again. So we moved some things around, and I think when we start, I think I need, so that's fine because that's actually feathers. So in a sense, both of these guys really need to be up here somewhere, and then the edge of the tail, in fact I would argue that this needs to be way up there, right, somewhere up here, and this somewhere up here too. And this too could go a little bit up, maybe. No, because I like the cupping. This could come down. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's a much better place for those legs. In fact, I would say that they could come a little farther forward. Bird side sitting. Oh no, up, wings up, that's right. Bird side, wings up. Okay. I'd hoped we'd get to see it in the game, but that was maybe a little ambitious. Yeah, see, we don't know. No, I kind of like that shape better. Okay, I'm overstressing about this because in the end we're gonna see it from back here, right? Very rarely will we ever notice the little. Oh, they do look a little scrawny. All right. So let's take this one and move that in along X. Actually, let's do GG. Yeah. And then we move this one in along X. GX. Shoot, look at that. Every now and then, you hit the right idea. And it's obviously the right idea. Okay. That's looking pretty good, actually. I think maybe the legs are still a little too short and a little too thin. So what we will do, and that's something that's got to be fixed because if we don't, it's going to look weird. Like it's already going to be small. You'll never see them, basically. So we want to scale everything except the Z. Okay, so let me look at this from the front. Scale everything except the Z. Yep. And then we'll do this plus. So I don't want those. Go back to the front. GX. Which one's the flying bird? There it is. Bird. Bottom inflict. Okay, so now I know which one to get rid of if I want to see the bird. Man, that looks like a bird. We could even give him like some basic materials, like not textured, but just some colors. Let's just make him red. Thing is, like, if I start giving different materials to things, it will put them in different groups and they will come out as different geometry. So let's not do that. Just give one big red material to the whole thing. Can I just... Oh, no. Okay. I can eyedropper. There we go. That's perfect. And it doesn't really matter because in the game it won't be... Look at that. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of myself there. See, we want less specular, more roughness. Check it out. Okay, we can't actually bring it into the game because it doesn't have a rig. So we could start giving it a rig. I'm pretty pleased with that. So, like, I'm pleased enough with it that I think we need to see it without the... Yeah, it could turn out that I want those legs bigger still. Let's bring back... this guy. No? I mean... So look at his beak, right? And so if I put my thumb up to his beak, it's about as big as his hand. So if I my thumb up to his beak, yeah, nope, it's about right. Part of it's just that these, you know, don't have any kind of thickness to them. Maybe that's something we can give them. So if I select the bottom row, I can just give them some thickness. Yeah, that's better. That's the burb. All right. We could also UV map it. I think. Well, the thing is, like, I can't bring it into the game until I put a put some bones. So probably we want to rig it. I wonder if it's going to let me get away with just doing... I think probably if I do the vertex painting correctly, the weight painting, it'll be alright. I don't want to have to put bones in the wings themselves, because if I want to rotate... Maybe I will need 2 bones. Thing is, the bones are what's expensive in the animation, right? It's more things to keep track of. It's bigger. Okay. So let us place the root bone out of this mode. And that's... Neat. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. So let's add a bone. Single bone. That is a big ass bone. Alright, so this is the root bone. And we want to go here, say in front. And I like them when they're solid. Oh. What you doing way the hell over there? Don't you know the road's over here? Alright. How do I make that exactly in the center? Can I just 0? Apparently. Now, I think I'll just leave the root bone on its own. And then make separate bones for the spine and stuff. So in which case, maybe I want to scale this down further. 'Cause it's just going to be the root bone. So just put you there for now. And then oh, I did all of that. Apply all the transforms. There we go. I always forget to do my manipulation in edit mode, and then so there's like weird scaling and stuff. Oops, weird scaling and stuff. Okay, so let's make a spine. So it really doesn't matter because we're going to take him and what is it? Alt P, clear parent. And so this will be our spine. Yeah. Okay. Let's call that spine. Oops. Shoot, I always do that. Spine 01. Sure. And we'll call this guy root. Okay. I think maybe that's better. Rotate a little bit. Alright. I'm going to go extrude to make a head. And extrude to give the head some orientation. I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to this stuff, so definitely don't take my word for any of it. We'll extrude backwards. Yep, that's the last of the spine. All right. Now I think what I'll do... Oh, shoot. I need to parent him, keep offset. Okay. Alright. Now I think I will make the wing bones, the shoulders. Extrude to there. Okay, and we will call this wing. Call it shoulder left. Right. And we'll extrude. This is, oh yeah, wing upper left. Doink, doink, doink. Okay, this was wing lower left. And we'll call this one thumb. Alright, we'll see if I can get away with just that. Alrighty then. Now we will extrude another one. Pelvis left. Hip left. I'm not sure I'm really saving anything over having done this with a, oops, extrude with the standard rig. Okay, just, I have big eyes, you know, eyes bigger than stomach kind of thing. Okay, so this is upper leg left. We extrude. G. Okay, so lower leg left. And I think we're going to want to extrude at least back. Call this talon left and one at least forward. I think I can get away with that. So this will be toes left. Okay, so we have talon left, toes left. All right. And so I think if I had this in pose mode, like everybody should be, yeah. So the back, okay. Yep, okay. Note, I haven't like attached the mesh or anything because I have to apply the modifiers and so on. Okay. I feel like we're gonna want a rib cage. I feel like with this here, we're gonna want at least one bone to control it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just feel like we're gonna want something in there. Because when the bird goes to stand up, yeah. All right, so let me go ahead and save, and I'm going to go ahead and we're gonna rig it, which means I have to do things that are destructive. So if I want to apply the modifier, but I can at least put it into X mirror mode so that if I was to grab this guy, it'll move the other side. Alrighty, so let's go back to this guy. Go to edit mode for him, and we want to select all of the ones that are labeled as left, right? And then okay, and then we want to say symmetrize. Look at that. Like magic. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't make the tail feathers. Okay, so let's do this first. I think can I get away with just one? Probably. We better do two. Okay, so this is, oops, the bone. Tail, upper left. Tail lower left. All right. So maybe we can at least see the bird pose, right? Okay, so we've got these guys, these guys, these guys, these guys, that guy, that guy. Did I get everybody? Oops. Sorry, guys. That looks like everybody to me. Symmetrize. Okay. Oh, crap. I didn't position these correctly. So let's do GZ down. GZ down. Just open Mythruna without looking, and it did. Oh, like big screen. That's okay, right? Yeah, it picks. I mean, JMonkey Engine picks weird screen sizes. Oh, dual. Nice. Nice. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. I just want to see this pose tonight at least. All right. So we've got all of the left bones selected. I should be symmetrize. Cool, 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 cool. All right, so we go into object mode. Which way do we parent? Do we select the mesh? Yeah, I think we select the mesh. And then the thing, and then we control P with automatic weights. Boink. All right. Now we should be able to go in this mode. Let's go in this mode and select this guy and go into pose mode. So, yay. Oh, I didn't get the wingtips right. Okay, well, that's all right. It still works. Alright, so then this should flap most of that part of the wing. Okay, so what I wanted to see was what happens if I, from here, rotate this. Yeah, I get some control over that. Okay, what if I grab both of them? Yeah, that's alright. That's enough control. That's more than enough control. Check it out. Okay, so I didn't need fingers. Probably I could have done with one here. So if we come over here and I rotate these guys, yeah, so we probably, okay, so I would want to select all these. Rotate, all right. What about the head? Can you look around? Let's see. Can you look over here? Yes. Hey, check it out. Okay, wait, I want to go here and turn off in front, right? So now we can say rotate, and you can look over there, and rotate, and you can look over there. There we go. All right, we've got him rigged, which means if he was in like a, we'd have to give him an idle pose, a default pose. We have to at least give him a default pose. Good, it's 11 o'clock, guys. I should probably cut it out. But let me go ahead and fix, we want X symmetry. Go ahead and fix this. Well, am I gonna wreck my, nah, they should be fine. Okay. So then if we go back to pose mode, this guy should still be fine. Yep. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, 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 cool. All right. I mean, this is gonna work. All right. Nice. Okay. So I think I'm happy with that. So I'll need to do a bunch of work, right? But maybe I'll save that because I got other things to do. So maybe we'll finish him up next week. I think this is a good place to stop. We've got a rigged... Oh. We're missing a... Did I name it wrong? Poop. Thumb left. We're missing a thumb over here. I must not have selected it. Shoot. 7. Extrude. Oh no. Let's turn this off. 7. Extrude. Okay, so then we want to make sure Okay. Make sure it lines up there. And then we'll call this one right, so that it works well with mirroring of what you call it. Okay, so then if I do this and I select him, okay, good. But yeah, so pose mode. Oops. See, he's not even connected to anything. So we need to, what is it? Object mode will come in here, Alt P, clear parent. And then go back to here, Control P with automatic weights. Okay. Now with this guy selected, pose mode, this should work. Yep, cool. So if I do them both. Alright. Good. Okay, he's fixed. So yeah, next week we'll give him some animations, UV mapping. I'll show you how I will do that. Yeah, so we'll wait till next. Man, I really want to work on this, but I got like inventory stuff to do. So, and that's the reason I didn't do the inventory stuff on the live stream, is because it requires a lot of focus, concentration, and design. And while I would like to do a video on the drag and drop stuff that Lemur, the UI library, provides, I would prefer to do that almost as its own topic someday, where I don't have to wait for Mythruna to boot up every time we want to test it. So, you know, with a demo, to show how drag and drop works with inventory and stuff like that. But oh man, this was a good night, a good productive night. So, all right, any last minute questions? I wonder how many we actually had on tonight. I didn't have that, so it shows 2 now. So some of you hung out. All right, guys. Where's my OBS window? There it is. So, thank you for joining. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have ideas for future content, you know, comment or whatever. If you just want to say hi, that's fine. And thank the patrons. You guys rock. If you have ideas for benefits, for member benefits, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Thanks.